Hi, everybody. Can you hear me now? I want to say I love you, Shannon Johnson, for laughing your butt off. And Andrea, your sound of silence quote, I love it. Let's see. I'm going to wait and see if you guys come back. I would love to do the earth meditation with you. So I'm going to wait until we have a few people here. I was sharing in the first video that today is Chalk Your Walk Day, which means to go outside and decorate your sidewalk and encourage your neighbors to come out and see it. And so I did a chalk my walk. I will put the post up later for you guys to see. I'm so happy you can hear me. And I was reminded as I was outside of the studies that were done about being in the woods. And I did a 3.5 mile hike with my friend Corey out in the woods. And it is shown that when you're around trees for 15 minutes, your serotonin levels are boosted. So this is like taking a happy pill. So my whole morning was very lovely. I got to help Lee Malice shoot her, not shoot, but like record her Kundalini yoga class today. That was great. And then it's just kind of been artwork and taking some breaths. I'm glad you guys can hear. Again, love you guys. I was saying you are so on it. You are so witty. You are funny. I love these chat threads. I love how interactive you guys are. Yvonne, yes, finally, right? Thank you guys for hanging in there. Yay, Kurt. Oh, you can tell I've got my old paint shirt on and just being me, but wanted to show up because I felt like it was time to get together and let's run through the earth meditation together, and then we'll do an arts and crafts piece about pulling your family together and making something to go up on an altar, because I know some of us either have been through or know someone who is dealing with hardships with a coronavirus or has made a transition. So I would like to go ahead and start honoring them. I have a really wonderful craft coming up that will require you to have a photograph of your loved one. And I'm going to post that one because I'd really love for you to do it with me. And we're going to start making pieces to go up on altars to get focus. But as these pieces are being handmade, they give you some time to spend with somebody else, with a child, to talk about what your feelings are and what you're going through, because there's a weird pressure right now from what I'm hearing from my friends and even from myself that we need to button up and put on that smile so that we can be the pillar of strength for others to fall apart. And so I really just want to give permission to fall apart, that we don't need to be strong for others. We need to honor what we're going through, connect here, and then I want to give you permission to stay positive during times of tragedy. So where's the fine line? So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but if you guys are ready, I would love for you to just find a place, and if you're in the middle of an activity and you're moving about, you can still do this with us. One of my favorite things that I learned was that the Tibetan monks, they don't necessarily sit down and go into silence. They believe meditation is a state of being, and they do it throughout all their tasks. Washing dishes, dusting, cleaning, everything has this sense of being connected and honoring. So if you're in the middle of a task, so be it. Keep on, and then we're going to get you connected to your breath and get into this visualization. So when you guys are ready, settle into wherever you are. If you are sitting down, get comfortable. If not, just wiggle your shoulders a little bit, do some shoulder rolls. I don't know if you guys have been sitting down or a little stagnant because you've been indoors a lot today, but roll your shoulders backwards and then roll them forward a few times. Just get loose. And if there's anything on your body that's bothering you, go ahead and make that adjustment. If the pants are too tight, if the glasses are uncomfortable, or if there's something that you're just holding or wearing that you just can set aside, this is only going to be for a few minutes. Wonderful. So when you're wherever you want to be, if you can, go ahead and close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breath coming into the body And just kind of acknowledge, what is it like to be full of breath and then release, let everything out. And what's it like to be empty? This might be the first moment you're checking in today. Go ahead and enjoy breath coming in and out at your own pace. And if this is your first moment checking in, just do a little scan from the top of your head all the way down the body, the shoulders, the lungs, the heart, and acknowledge anything that feels out of place, whether it's too big or whether it's missing or whether you feel it's not in the right location. Just acknowledge it for right now. Keep moving down the ribs, the waistline, hips. Scan all the way down the thighs, around the knees, down the calves, into the ankles. Just to see how you're doing. Now we're going to do that scan all over again, and all those parts that you noticed that maybe weren't right, held some tension physically, or had some thoughts in it, logically, or had some emotions. I want you to go ahead in this next scan, imagine that you're able to bring light into the top of your head, and it's created from a higher source of light. A light that comes from beyond, a light not man-made, that kind of light. And I want you to imagine it coming into the top of your head and just shining all the way through your body. And as this light shines through your body, I want you to see now that it's collecting everything that feels out of place, everything that you do not need, you no longer can use, everything that doesn't belong to you but you're carrying. And I want you to see it pull and melt away from you or become so bright that it no longer vibrates and exists within your physical body. Keep imagining that light shining in all the way down to the feet. And when you feel like you're done with that, imagine the light coming away from the head and pulling down towards the feet and going into the earth. There you are, perfect. All the vibrations that you have in your body are the ones that you desire to keep, that you've created, and we now know that you are consciously holding on to. You are strong, you're beautiful, you're confident, you're connected. And let's use this state of mind now to begin to imagine the earth. And if this image is too large for you, imagine where you're living and your perspective kind of coming up and away from where you are, up into the sky, up further away, and you can see the map of the earth begin to form beneath you, your country, your continent, the oceans that connect it, all coming into vision very far away from you. As you are becoming large, the earth is becoming small and kind of in front of your perspective. Go ahead and imagine that. And I want you to imagine that you are now bathing the earth and surrounding the earth with this beautiful white light. And if you can, allow this white light to have a kind of milky, dense texture. Go ahead and thicken it up. This light is creating a filter, and in a moment, you're going to move this filter from the Earth's atmosphere down through to the trees and to the center of the Earth, and this filter is about to collect all the stress, anxiety, all the unneeded and unwanted energy that's been lingering and not cleaned and not moved, not consciously taken care of, and it's going to take it to the center of the earth for her to burn up in her heat and to reuse and recycle and regrow and relove. So now in your mind's eye, that milky, beautiful white light that you've created, see it now shrinking in to the atmosphere around the earth. Imagine it pushing through clouds and through all the airplanes, the birds, kites, everything that's in the air. This light is filtering through and taking and gently pulling and holding and removing all the unused, unneeded, and unwanted energy at this time. And this light will hold it, it will carry it as it's slowly moving through the skyline, as it's slowly reaching the tops of buildings, the tops of the tallest trees, touching every leaf, branch, insect, animal, every creature, coming down through the trunks of the trees, through the layers of the buildings, until now you're reaching tops of homes, people's heads walking on the ground, other animals, the caribou, the elephants, giraffes. And I want you to imagine this beautiful white light as it's moving through man-made material like concrete to natural materials, metals, and waters, that it is slowly grabbing and taking like the most gentle sponge absorbing water, all the unwanted and unneeded and unused energy. And now imagine how it feels for these surfaces to release this energy that it no longer needs. And keep slowly moving the light onto the top of the earth, to the topsoil, past the roads, the concretes and driveways, and pushing it a little bit deeper into the soil, past the crust, into the mantle, deeper into the core of the earth. And this light is holding all of this vibration, this worry, this concern for the unknown, the unexpected, and it's taking it into the heat in the center of the earth. And I want you to imagine right now all that vibration just dissolving with this intense heat and pressure and regrowing and structuring itself into the light and the energy that can be used to manifest, to grow, to love, to feel safe and comfortable. Now becoming aware of your relation to the earth, how it was in front of you as you were doing the work. And I want you to feel yourself becoming smaller and more connected to the place where you are, the body that you're in. And just feel the earth expanding to where it's so large it is what is supporting you underneath. And that you are back into your physical body. Put a smile on that face. You did it. Give thanks to yourself. Gratitude for the ability to be here to do the work, to offer the service. You guys are the best. You can feel such a change when more than one person collects and we merge our intent and our visions. When we're clear like this and we can come together, fantastic results happen. It doesn't just double, it triples, it quadruples, it tenfolds the energy that we're focusing on, rather than just having one voice doing it. So communities like this are very important. Hi guys. Hi Madeline. Staying healthy over here. Nancy and Kurt are hiking the beach. Sweet. Hi Kathy. Hi Kimmy. Hi Bee. It's so good to see you here. Hi Simone. Hi Cece. You lost your job. A lot of that is happening right now. I'm very sad to hear that has happened to someone, and especially you. So I do hope that your state and your county kind of come together to support. There's a lot of that happening. So I'm very hopeful. And I don't feel overly worried about your situation, which helps me. So I know that there is a brighter light coming. Lucy's going to play her Tibetan bowl. Nice. Here in Italy, they forbid the use of parks. Some of the parks here now, they're picking up the picnic tables and they're putting away the swings so people can no longer gather. I trust what you say, but have you channeled it, Jamie, yet? Oh, have I channeled it? Kimmy, can you put your fingers to the keyboard and let me know what it is? Have you channeled it? You mean the meditation? The meditation was given to me by Maitland and Grace. They woke me up last Sunday, about a week ago, so I've been doing it every day. Kimmy, I need to watch this again. You're brilliant, Jamie, and thank you, but it's Saturday and I'm enjoying a bottle of wine. You got it. Enjoy that. No, it's wonderful. I told you guys every day I would touch in for a little bit. We would do something spiritual and then create something. So you don't have to create it now with me, but you can create it later. Morning from Melbourne. Wake up, Fiona. The sun is up. It's a new day. You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. So, they want to know if you channeled the virus. I have not channeled the virus yet. Maitland talked a lot about it in the channeling last night, but I haven't personally tapped in to channel it. Hi, Larry. First time. Welcome to the community. It's good to see you. So I've been meditating and talking to Spirit and really just trying to ask how I can be of help. And I know there are a ton of resources out there. There are, and you can find them, and I know you're capable. But sometimes with highly sensitive people or empathic people or clair-sensitive people, we're really looking for a task that aligns our energy so that we feel good in contributing it. And so that might have certain qualities in there, like you need to recycle something instead of just going and getting something or buying something new. And so the purpose of these witchcrafting are we going to come up with is to all kind of feed into the situation that we are in globally. So today we've come up with thread and nails. So if you have a scrap piece of wood, which sometimes can be found in other people's trash, which sounds really awful when I say it out loud, but I am totally a dumpster diver, and wood cleans very well. If you ever find a piece of wood that has any kind of mold or mildew on it, vinegar is going to be your friend, not bleach. Vinegar has larger particles, and it can actually get into the crevices and help pull it out, and then you can pressure wash it and let it dry in the sun. You can bleach it to get rid of the staining, but the vinegar is going to be best. If you don't have wood, you can use cardboard. And if you don't have nails, you can use push pens. If you don't have push pens, I don't know what you're going to be doing. And so what you do is you can draw on your wood or you can draw on your cardboard paper and do any shape that you would like, and you're going to use thread, twine, shoestrings. You can use anything that's long. I like thread. I like working with thread a lot because it's thin and people really think it's all just for sewing, but it's really, really pretty when you have a lot of it tied up and wrapped around. So this is supposed to be a feather, but some people think it's a leaf. So these kinds of crafts take just long enough to where you can sit with someone and you can open up conversation. What's wonderful about crafting and doing is that your brain is busy designing. It's busy focusing on the task that you have in front of you. And it's not going to be truly focused on, am I vulnerable? Am I too open? Or do I need to filter my words a little bit better? Because it's going to be, like I said, busy doing the work. When your hands are busy, your brain gives it a little bit more freedom. So small crafts with your kids or with anybody that you need to talk with, whether it's in a relationship or family, where you need to get a little bit deeper. It's a really great trick for the sensitives. So I'm going to do a heart. You take your thread. I just happen to have a lot of thread. But you can use ones from emergency sewing kits from hotels, when you find those. You can use um, plain thread, clear thread. It doesn't have to be colored. And then all you're going to do is, you bet you guessed it, just weave in and out of the nails or the structure that you've gotten and create the pattern that you're interested in. So as I'm doing this, I want to talk to you guys, and I want to see what kind of questions you have going on. See, you did it as a kid. That reminds me of my younger years when I did this too. Guys, when we are going to be in our house, and this is just the beginning of it for those of you in the United States, Spirit talks a lot about being home grounded for real, because what we have right now is a little bit of you can go outside and you can go for walks and you can take care of yourself and you can work out, but you can't really like go to work and be in large groups, and that's going to change. So we have a lot to think about as these days come and the government begins to close down. And some of these crafts might be exactly what your little heart needs and what your little kids' hands need, so that you can ask them, are they catching wind of the news? Or what are they hearing on their social media, on their phones? Please, please ask. Kids are so alive right now with their psychic abilities, and they are processing. Their little ears are on. So you just keep going and you keep going. Their little ears are on. Please don't miss an opportunity to help them understand what their natural psychic ability is as they're processing all this energy that's in the world right now. My daughter came over last week and we painted rocks. Our town hides them. Some have messages. People post them on Facebook and re-hide them. It's so much fun. Oh my God, sounds delightful. I would love to live in a place like that. Oh, Shelly Ham, are these your new glasses? They are my new glasses. I went for a completely different pair. I think it was after Shannon Johnson said, pretty much, you're psychic. Why aren't you tuning in and going with the one that really works for you? And I just didn't find one. So I went back out and did a whole nother shopping spree. And these I fell in love with and I got them. Barrett says I love board games. Oh, Jacqueline, you started drawing again? That is incredible. Yay. I love that. I can't go outside. Boo, day 6 of quarantine. See, Roxana, you are ahead of the curve. What Roxana's experiencing, we're about to experience in the United States. So looking back at these videos and just finding small crafts. If you feel like you don't have the brain space, or you still have to work from home, and that you do have kids, or you have something that you want to release, like stress, or your schedule's too tight for you to forward think, take this time now to take a piece of paper and write down some things that you would really like to do in your home, whether it's maintenance, upkeep, painting that accent wall, cleaning something out. Just go ahead and do a honey to-do list, and then like a honey fun list. So maybe it's making a heart. And as you're making the craft, especially if it's for your altar, like I mentioned this one is, I want you to think about what it means to you to create this work. And that's what it will represent on the altar. So if you know someone who's transitioned from coronavirus and you'd like to honor them, a wonderful way to do that is to do a craft. It doesn't even have to look like them or be like them. It could be a symbol. It could be all kinds of things, a collage. As you're thinking of them, that energy embeds into that item. So inanimate, animate objects are all created of energy, and energy is made up of vibration. And when we're talking to something and we're feeding attention to it, like we did in the earth meditation, we are creating it to be so. Our pretend and our imagine, it stimulates our intuitive abilities, and it does influence energy. It really does. It is not a hard task. Changing a tire might be hard. Changing energy or moving energy, not hard. All we have to do is put some effort behind it, which is intent. It is attention behind the words is your intent. And that's what we do when we craft. So whatever you are thinking, you store in it, and then you put it up on your altar, and it will hold that vibration for you. And it's really sweet because sometimes when you round the corner and you look at it and you go, that's where I was. That's where my story was, or my head was at that time. And then if you look at it one day and you feel like you're not connecting to it anymore, go ahead and recycle it. You can clean it. You can energetically clean it by crystals, by sunlight, by full moon light, by your own intent and your own healing light from your physical body. And you can clean it up and then you can give it as a gift. Or if it's recyclable items, recycle it. Fiona, it's still business as usual for me right now. I've noticed that the energy of the children that I look after, 3 to 5-year-olds, in my room has changed. I'm going to do this with them tomorrow. Thank you for loving the new glasses. Oh, Christine, you might start doing puzzles. I love that. We've got these. Where are they? Those things. Really crazy hard wooden puzzles. One fell apart the other day and I could not put it back together. I thought I just wanted to scream a little bit, but my husband put them together. Oh, it's a little town in Illinois. And do I pronounce your name Yomo? I'm going to give it a guess. Mandatory quarantine except for necessities. Beautiful. So you guys are ahead of the curve. We don't have a mandatory quarantine right now. We're still kind of out and about. We're just not gathering. Jeremy, such a star on Eric channel and very easy to understand. Jeremy, thank you very much. Eric is a wonderful, wonderful man. So funny. Oh, Shelley sharing, there's a YouTube channel called Art Club for Kids. Go step by step on how to draw really cool kid stuff. Oh, I remember this. I found it just a few months ago. It is super, super cool. Thank you for posting it. Day O'Neill. Though PR is quarantine, I go to work each day. I just lost a coworker to coronavirus. Light and love. Light and love to you. And to your coworker and your coworker's family and friends. Ashley says, I have a feeling I'm ascending. What do you think, my wonderful sister? Happy Saturday. Ashley, that's a big resounding yes that I hear in my head and my heart. I think a lot of us are going through that process right now, and so we're finding with these new restraints that are being put on us, it's challenging us, not just mentally, not just physically, and not just as like routine people, but how we use our energy and where our thoughts go. And so the work that you're doing right now to show up to be your light is extremely, my phone's going off, is extremely impactful. Oh, somebody is talking about being on shutdown as well in the text. The work that we're doing now is going to amp your energy even more. So I'm not surprised if you feel like you're ascending, which means that your old definitions that you had about life, where your perspective was, how you understand the support of all that is and the awareness of all that is very much in your face, and you're living it as you move. That's what we're talking about. So sometimes, like myself, being sensitive and being able to see spirit or hear spirit, I have these moments where I get into it and I can live it for a little while. And then for me, I get really, I don't know what the word is, but human. Like I want to be human. I've chosen to do this. So I push them away and I don't talk to them anymore. And I'm not going to ask them any questions. And I'm just going to be really tough or stupid, however you want to view it. And so I come back down. Like my belief is I picked this body. So there has to be some beauty in it for me for being human. Like I don't need to surrender all my thinking and my choices and my actions to match that what spirit is telling me all the time. Then I would be a complete follower to another source instead of this leader that I knew I came in to experience in my own body. So So this whole ascension feeling for me, it comes and goes, though I do now feel like I have a viewpoint or perspective that is slightly different. And when we get there, we tend to experience less fear, less anxiety, and less worry because we have this knowing of ease. Jen says, Elvidge, I've been listening to a lot more music. Don't Stop Me Now is by Queen. And guys, it is the #1 ranked happiest song of all times. That's what scientists have said. So I'm doing more cleaning around the house. That makes me feel accomplished and clear. Thank you for your beautiful smile and sharing your special self with us. Thank you, Jen. Yes, go get it. Clean it. And then I wish you could come to my house and do it. No. Peter Evans, I love expressing emotion or feelings through my paintings. Right? That's wonderful. Sometimes I've used it to work through an old trauma as well. Peter, that's incredible. Crafting, expression, art, right? This is the sensitive's dream. Bia says, I don't know if you'll answer this, but my dog Luna for 15 years is not well at all. She's in pain, and what does she think now? I have so much sorry for her, and I love her so much, and also my cat has epilepsy, and I will also know what he thinks. Thank you so much for that. You also want to know what your cat thinks. Your cat seems to be kind of fine, just besides the epilepsy. It looks like it's age-driven, but everything is good. You might want to do a boost or a mineral check and just look at the food the cat is consuming and just make sure there's not too much protein in it. With your dog, what I hear that Luna is talking about, she's getting ready to transition, and she said she's going to give you a heavier sign than what she's doing now. Right now she's doing a maintenance where she has a little bit of time, she said, where she's very good, and then she gets back into this deepness. When she refused to come out of the deepness and when she chooses not to eat what you give her, that's her sign of saying she's ready to transition, and she said she hoped that you would help her. I hope that helps, Bia. It's heartbreaking. Lou, hey Jamie, I'm the one that commented yesterday about benefiting from your breathing instruction. Anxiety about my small restaurant here in Tampa. I love Tampa. We are limited to takeout only. I asked Spirit to help us through these times, and we had the busiest takeout day ever. Is there anything else I can do within the restaurant to keep it going? Crystals, safe, etc. Oh my God, Lou, that is so exciting. So, Lou, what I hear from Spirit is if you could take a moment and do something like what we're doing right here and record you showing what kind of safety measures that you're doing within your own restaurant, especially around packaging and being able to deliver to your pickups or whoever's coming to the restaurant to pick up. Show them how you do the spray, what spray you use. Show them how you handle your gloves. Show them how you're dressed, and be really proud of your restaurant. So it's not a, see what we're doing? See, we're fine. Come here. Go, listen, guys, I know we're all in this together, because it's how you talk, I can tell, and say, I'd love to show you some of the measures that we're taking in hopes that it might help other restaurants. And just do a little video. And so if you can, I don't think delivery places will do that, but if you have a website, you can post or embed that link from YouTube and encourage whoever is ordering to look at it or even share it. They said that's going to be extremely helpful. But the second thing is clear communication. Talk. When somebody calls in, you say, here's how we're going to handle your order. So this might be a little bit more information than you're asking for, but this is what we're doing with people so that they know where we stand. We're going to place your order up front, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're not going to stand close to each other. And you give the person on, this is my telephone, on the telephone, what exactly is going on. Right now, a tad bit of over-communication is going to be the greatest place to be in, rather than, well, they know how pickup goes, and we really just want the business. Let's educate. Bonita, my son is in senior in high school and he wants to know how long he'll be out of school and how long restaurants will be closed. He works at a restaurant. Oh, Bonita, I see a lot of closures continuing to happen even for the first time come April. In May, things seem to lighten up. And I know May is the time like where everybody is graduating. So I kind of feel like you'll be able to touch base back with school and even get back into your restaurant career. Before the month of April, it's going to be very low. So please start looking at unemployment. And here in the state of Georgia, if you are a boss and you have employees, and I think this is with other states as well, but you can file for a temporary or short-term unemployment if you've had to let somebody go because there is no business to do, and they can help at least pay the salary in the meantime, which doesn't mean that you have to fire any employees, and everybody is getting the service and the care that they need. So as bosses, let's rally and see how we can help our employees that no longer really have a position to fill, but it's our job to take care of them as well as our job to take care of our own personal success and business success. But there are options. Let's do some researching. Ashley, she says, hope you're doing great. I am. My voice is a little tired. I've been talking nonstop. Tina. Oh, Tina, I'm really digging your last name. Mamula? Please tell me that's how it's said. Mamula. If I ever have another cat, which I will, Mamula is going to be its name. When I was little, I had an imaginary friend. Oh, and her name was Trudy. My mom didn't like it, but my aunt told her to leave me alone, and that was my angel. I think of that friend often. I lived on a farm with much older siblings and nobody to play with. Oh my God, Tina, she was your playmate and she went everywhere with you. Sometimes she brought others with her, and I would love to know what you think of that. And think about kids who have imaginary friends. Oh my God, Tina, I love that. I had imaginary friends. I had lots of them. I had 6. They had names. I could tell you exactly what they looked like and how old they were. And as I got older, my mother was absolutely just flabbergasted that my imaginary friends were about 20, 30 years old. She thought that they were kids or just figments of something. But I knew their hairstyle, what kind of job they had, how they died, what car, everything. Didn't scare me. So when you're talking about your angel, Trudy, you can always reconnect. It might not happen right away, but please do put it on your wish list if you would like some reunion, because that can go down. I got to reunite with mine once. I miss them dearly. I'd love for them to return, but it's just not in the cards. It's for me to carry forward. And for kids who have imaginary friends, and for parents who have kids that have imaginary friends, let me talk to you first, because you're the ones who are seeing it and listening to the stories and wondering, God, is my kid just really imaginative? Or is my kid really managing this? And is it safe? Is it healthy? Is it good? Or is it an entity that is kind of latched on and lying or using and abusing energy? Are some of you like, I cannot believe you just said that? Is that real? And I will say, I have seen it. Yeah. It is not common, is what I will say. It is not common. Kids are beautiful and they're smart, and we've got to give them a lot of credit here. They are naturally wired positive. In general, kids like 98.999% wired positive. And when we have that wired positive, nothing can harm me and I'm invincible and everything is great, then getting a spirit that wants to lie to you, to steal your energy, to vampire it, to create whatever it is, discourse, is rare. It's the kids that are having a hard time with socializing, anxiety, fear. That's when a spirit, if they find each other, can then manipulate. Again, not common whatsoever. It would not be my first go-to if a child came to me and said, I have an imaginary friend. My first go-to would be, really? What's their name? Or what do they look like? Or my favorite, how do you feel when they're around you? You'll want to ask how they're feeling. Because your kid can say, I love them. They're showing me around. I feel very safe. We do creative things. But if your kid looks back at you and goes, I don't know, they're just kind of there and they're watching me. Go, well, how does that feel for you? Do you feel happy? Do you feel safe? Do you feel creative? And just help them with a few of the words. And if there are emotions that you're not comfortable with, it's time to start teaching your kid about boundaries. But if your child's responding back, I feel great, I like it when they visit me, it's a lot of fun. She tells me stories of, go, that's wonderful. So the next day, when they bring up they have an imaginary friend, ask the very same questions. Don't deviate. Don't throw on extras. So if you asked, how do you feel? What's their name? What do they look like? Is it a boy or a girl? I want you to ask all those all over again. Because with imagination, things change and morph. Well, no, Cheryl's now a boy and likes to skateboard and this and that. So that can be an imaginary existence to help them with coping or with playing or self-soothing. But if it's the same answers that come through the next day and the next day and the next day, and I would hang in there for at least about 10 rounds. I would. And if nothing changes and they keep looking at you like, I told you this yesterday, like, why are you asking me? Just go, well, I don't know why I keep forgetting. What was it again? Just play dumb. They give you the same information, then you know you've got a kid who has a spirit friend, an angel friend, a master, a guru friend, but a friend that does not have a physical body. And then just stay in touch with them and see if they need any support with that. And give them permission. Just say, hey, anytime something's happening there and you'd like for me or you'd like to share it with somebody, I'm here, totally open ears. And it'll create for some really awesome conversation. My grandfather passed away when I was 14, and he was my son's go-to playmate. They would sit on the piano bench together, and my son would absolutely, literally, he would look to the side, to the space, and go, scoot over. And he'd bump space, because you're looking at it, you don't see anything. He'd bump, and then he'd put his hands on the keys, and he'd stop, and he'd look at my grandfather, and he'd go, not like that, like this. And he'd play him a different way, and he'd go, that's good. Do it again. And he would just be responding. And to the average, if your senses weren't on, it looked like he was just talking to air and responded to nothing. It was crazy. But in those cases, I'm very lucky that I can look up and at least see. Whew. Oh, it's Bobby. Hi. I would love to hear what happens after. Bara, Sutler, thank you for mentioning HSP in relation to spiritual abilities. I asked an HSP therapist if it could be related to psychic abilities, and that's what I had been feeling for myself. And the therapist basically said, no, thank you for answering the question I put out to the universe. You are so welcome. I love it when I'm tapped into the universe, and because we're all in this together, and it's just so great. But mostly the people that are in my classes, and from what I've seen, they are highly sensitive people. And they respond to heightened awareness of all traditional five senses. And that's kind of how I feel intuition is a heightened use of your traditional five senses. You guys are awesome. Tatiana, what can I study to be successful? Honestly, not sure anymore. What I just heard, Tatiana, was that maybe it's not outside of you. It's not about studying to be successful. And that's why you keep hitting a wall. Hitting a wall. You get a bright idea and you clamber through it and you're like, I got it. And then bam, and you're like, this is not going to work. And it's just shocking that it doesn't work because you do have all your pieces together. Like, you're prepared. Like, amazing. Great job. But this is not the right direction. It's not about what to do to be successful, but please, it's about finding what is your passion. What do you love? Like, what do you love in life right now? And then look at that and say, how can I design my life around what I love? I mean, this is going to be one of the Corona vacation lessons as we step away from this, come August. We're going to be looking at this and saying, man, life has presented me with something, and it's time for me to wrap myself around what I love. And there are all kinds of jobs and opportunities out there. It's not just about doing to be financially paid anymore. We're now getting the permission, the energy is changing, the earth is supporting it. We're going back to doing what we love, and the benefits of it is receiving the energy, whether it's compliments, accolades, acknowledgement, or financial gain. That's the answer. Barrett's been streaming on Twitch. My kids are on Twitch. Susie Benson. There is either going to be lots of babies or lots of birth control. Oh, for vacation. It's so true. Hey, Jeremy. Jeremy Bedford. I've done so much reading in spiritual courses and books and the videos, and it has kept me uplifted. As from Channel Jesus books, etc., has taught me how important what we say and listen to and watch and how it manifests. Yes, I agree. Life is an illusion. The info feels true, but it's weird. Thank you for your reply. Right? I am right with you. It feels very true and really weird. It's like our brain, our instrument, how we've used it so far. It's been indoctrinated to stay in this certain container, in this linear time frame container. So when we start saying life is an illusion and there's parallels and our choices create other alternative, life lines and so forth, it's very hard for our brain to catch on to that. So it starts to shut down. And what happens is when it starts to shut down, our little internal voice, who doesn't like to feel stupid, will come in and go, this is all bullshit. This can't be happening. I can't deal. And it starts to throw wrenches in your learning ability. So, Jeremy, you're in a sweet spot as well. Look around. I'm right behind you. That keep arguing, keep pushing, keep trying to get the brain and its indoctrinated box to dissolve and to come away. So I don't think that we fully need to do that 100% to become enlightened or aware or evolved. I think that right there is bullshit. Excuse me, but I'm very passionate about that one. I do believe it's about everything in moderation. I do believe, like you said, it's about us understanding it, but maybe not being able to break it down. Not all the time. And then we're going to have some moments, like our aha moments, where we go, oh, this is it. I know that everything in my world, and I'll take it a step further beyond the videos and what you read and what you have around you, to the color in your house, to the texture of your sheets in your bed, to how you hold your voice, how you hold your body. I'm slouching. Sit up, guys. Shoulders back. To every minute detail, to your clutter, to your organization, affects the way your health and your well-being is. Everything around you is made of energy. Everything has a vibration. This color is feeding me. The texture of this thread is feeding me. The table I'm at, the chaos in this room, everything is shaping the way that I'm resonating to show up in this instant. Now, I know this, but I can't wrap my head around it too long because it freaking hurts. It's way too much information to hold at once. And I feel like we decided to be these basic human experience bodies, so let's follow through with it, not try to climb out of it. I just went on a rant. I had my soapbox? I don't think I did, but that was fun. Sorry about that. Or not, I don't know. Phil Summerland, how you doing? I will be spending time learning and training astral projection in the next weeks. Nice. Being out of body is just awesome and incredible, right? Oh, I love that you have found like a goal and something that you want to go towards. I love it, I love it, I love it. Have you checked out any of Brian Mercer's book? I do Facebook live stream with him every other Friday. We're writing a book on animals in the light, animal consciousness, and afterlife. And he has written several books about astral projection. And Phil, you make a really good point here. Like, what are you going to come out of this fog with? I've heard my friend today say, I'm going to take this time to learn how to do handstands and yoga. And Phil's going to do his astral projection. What are you guys going to come out of the woods with on this round? Oh, wow, there's so guys. I love how you type it down. Brianna, hi Jamie. I've been told that I'm highly empathic, psychic, and even medium by readers recently. I meditate, I journal, I have nature time, etc. What does Spirit suggest for me to do in order to tap back into these abilities again? Ooh, which means you totally had it as a kid, didn't you? Man, there's so many of us, right? We are totally not alone. So to get back into it, I find the one thing that veils us the most, that keeps us away from our natural, intuitive, and psychic abilities is the sakha, our belief system. I mean, we can understand a good game, but to believe in it, sometimes we falter. So when we get into connecting to spirit, we like the idea and it feels good, but sometimes when we start getting the information, we really begin to question it. And this whole communication to the beyond, or being a healer, it's working with subtle light energy. And it's called subtle for a reason, because it's very subtle. The moment that we turn our attention on it very heavily to try to figure out why is it there and what information is it going to give me, and is it, valid? Is it true? I got to double check it and check it again and analyze it more. That makes the subtle light connection disappear. And then when it starts to crumble and disappear, the head goes, I told you, it's a bunch of crazy. It's not real. It's your imagination. That's why it disappears. It's your imagination. When it's not, it could have been a very true, deep connection for you, but your curiosity or your need to make sure you were doing the right thing choked it out. So be kind to yourself as you're getting into this Lumineers, when you're discovering your psychic abilities, your mediumship abilities, your HSP abilities, any of that. Just be kind to yourself. And when something is happening, when you're getting a message, I want you just to flip this part of your brain and go into kid-like mode. Do you have any memory of just being a kid, box of crayons, piece of paper, and you're like, I can draw whatever I want. Well, let's just do it. Like, there's no time frame. You don't need to question the crayons. You don't need to know how they work. You don't need anything. Like, everything's provided for. That's the spot I want your brain to go to. I want the logic part just to kind of go to sleep for a little bit. You might find that you can only do it for about 3 minutes at a time. It's true. But stick to it. And the moment your brain goes, is that real? Is that true? Why'd they say that? Try to flip it off and go, be a kid, be a kid, be a kid. Anything's possible. I don't really care about it. I'm just going to play with it. I'm just going to bring it to the table. I'm going to be a kid. And do your best to pretend your way back into that mindset. Then that subtle light energy won't tear, and it'll keep feeding you the information. And then when it naturally goes away, by all means, oh my God, please, if you're an analyzer or anything like that, go ahead, pick it back up. I'm not going to tell you can't look at it 10 ways differently and dissect it, but I want you to have the truest experience. And then what you do with that experience is up to you. That's going to be on you, and that's going to be your instrument. How well do you know yourself? So those would be my ways of how to get back into it, getting this straight, turning off the logic. Hope that helps. God, today might be called Jamie Rants Day. They're fun rants. I like talking about this. I don't get a lot of time to talk about these abilities unless I'm teaching it. So it's been really satisfying to be here and read some of these questions and work it out with you. Hi, Jamie. I've been Bethany. My brain worries that you're not answering might mean not good news. No, it's just a scrolling thing. You've been trying to ask for a couple of weeks, but I don't see the question in it. So sometimes my thread will just scroll up because I guess there's so many comments that have been made beneath. So I don't always see everything in order. I do apologize for that. Carrie, a feather is a symbol of connection for me and my son, and your feather craft made me smile. Oh my God, I love it. I have a feather tattoo on my ankle too. I love it a lot. Thank you, Marco. I always enjoy listening to you and learning so much. I'm just pleased that you're learning something from what I'm saying, and I'm not just talking to my little green light on my computer. Where's Umi? He's not camera hoarding today. Do you know why? It's because I propped this yellow thing against the door so he couldn't come in. Sorry. He was such a distraction. He's so freaking cute too, my goodness. I finally broke down and gave him his own Instagram. I don't know. I'm that person, I guess. I don't know. Bethany, there you go. I'm moving in under 2 weeks. Do you see this being a good and positive move for me? And this is really exciting for me, where I will be safe and feel at ease. Any tips for navigating big life changes at this time? Whew, right? Like we mentioned with Lou, the restaurant owner in Tampa, over communicate. Amora, you have a really good sense in communicating, but that timid, no, I don't know if it's a timid side of you. It's a courtesy side. You have a really big, compassionate heart, and sometimes you will step back to show space and kindness for others, and it feels really good for you to be able to provide it. But right now, I'd like for you to step into it and say, here's what I need. So if you're getting help with moving, just make sure everybody's wearing gloves and watch them if you'd like. You carry gloves so that anytime you see them touching holes in the body that don't need to be touched, you can have them change it out. If you're not getting help and it's just with yourself or a few friends, then obviously talking to them is going to be a lot easier. But besides the logistics, energetically moving, it's kind of fine. It's like doing it in the dead of night. Everything is very quiet. You'll have a lot of time and space to settle in and nest. This whole time right now is about nesting. This is where the 2020 clear vision comes in. Sometimes we don't see clearly until everything is taken away. And what's being taken away right now is a lot of financial security. And we're being forced to look at a different routine, our own self-care, a lot of work, a lot of creature comforts, self-care or entertainment is being taken away. And then as that happens, we start to go in deeper and deeper, and we start to nest, and then we start to really look at things because we have time, and we start looking at it. So here's our 2020 clear vision. The bulk of it is going to happen now in March, but mostly in April. April. And then May is a little foggy. June, we're like, oh yeah, I remember you. Do you feel safe touching? Yeah, I do. When like we get back into socializing without physical distance. Teresa Kaysen, my mom had an experience and couldn't get back into her body. Does it not leave you open to harmful and low vibrational spirits when you astral project or even channel? It does not leave you open. So strangely enough, your body is not like a plastic container. When the lid is off, it's not empty space for something else to fill. Our energy and our spirit is, there's a scientific word for it. It's called holon. 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 And holon means that you can be a part of, but still whole in and of itself. So it's not as if your entire spirit or soul or energy leaves your body and you become an empty container. You still have your light and your energy and your soul and your essence within your body, but portion of it is extending out and beyond and away so that you can develop a different perspective and a different location. So it's an astral project where your consciousness, your focus, and your perspective is not behind your eyeballs, but behind your energy that you are extending out and possibly around the world or out into the atmosphere and beyond into space. So it does not leave you open. So if you have a belief system, Luminaires, that when you do astral projection or when you travel and your belief system says, when that happens, bad shit can happen to me, what do you think is going to happen? Today might be the day of cussing too. Bad shit will happen to you. So what you believe in is the structure that you're setting up for yourself to experience. So there's beautiful studies done in the Bible Belt, and I used to have these reports, and I can't find them anymore. But this person had wrote a book and studied near-death experiences in the Bible Belt, and noted that when people crossed over in the Bible Belt, which is basically high Baptist area, and the Baptists believe that you go through hell before you get to heaven, like you are shown all your sins before you're forgiven. That the people who had near-death experiences literally saw demons. They felt like they went to hell. They felt like they were scared. They were terrified. And people who weren't in the Bible Belt and who had a different belief system, religious or spiritual, did not have those experiences. And so this researcher was able to map that what you believe in this lifetime is what your consciousness goes through when it exits your body. So your belief system will shape your transition from here to the afterlife. Because you're still you. Because you still have your personality and your memories and your characteristics and everything, that doesn't die. Your body separates from you, but you don't die. And so you go through this transition, and you're obviously going to play out everything that you've created. So be very clear and aware with what you feel is truth and what you believe. So if you want to do astral projection, maybe you learn a little bit more and you know without a doubt that your body is safe. Even if your eyes aren't behind these, they're out, the body is safe. Same with channeling. And it might be that you want to put precautions in place and have a spirit who guards you or keeps you safe. Like I do when I channel, I let my grandfather come in. I call him the gatekeeper because that was the most Ghostbusters thing I could think of. So anyways, there's that. I'm going to scroll down. I have a few of you I haven't even gotten to. It's crazy. I'm going to try to find... Hi, Regina. I am looking for somebody that I haven't mentioned yet, just to kind of get to everybody. Josie! Hey, I'm squeezing you. Any messages from your dad? Or no, he manipulated a couple things and tried to bring his family back together. I thanked him for that. He says he is still doing that. What I heard from him first and foremost, Josie, is that he's trying to cheer you on and get you to stop thinking about the worst possible outcome and start looking at what you can do to give you the outcome that you really need. So he's also talking about you carving out some time to really practice saying what you want to convey before you have conversations. I don't know what that's about. He's showing me you practicing in the bathroom. Okay, I don't see you in front of the mirror. It's just almost like a bathroom is a little bit more private. And then he showed me some, I'm in your, what do you call it? A studio where you paint stuff. He showed me a little bit more of that just because it was therapy. Much like our friend said earlier, I think that was Phil who said that. He loves you, he loves you, he loves you. He wants to know that everything is safe. Everyone is safe. Hi, Rebecca Orange, sending love. Hi, Carmen. Okay, thank you so much for being here and doing the Earth Meditation with me. And thank you so very much for just entertaining the idea of arts and crafts and putting focus behind it about a loved one and being able to kind of saturate that vibration into the article, into the inanimate object, and be able to use it for an altar or use it for a place where you can find solace and peace. Wanted to thank those Lumineers who found the OnDoc link and app and checked it out and found that it was a good fit for them. That was really, really sweet. I will post that link again. We are doing, that's a complementary healthcare kind of supplement. It's not an insurance, but it's priced right, and there's other companies out there that are doing that now, but the first month is free. So I feel very compelled to tell people about it because you can use their online service, their email service, and their health advocacy program for $30 for everybody in your house. You don't have to have insurance. You don't have to be an American citizen. For $30, you can have all of that for up to 18 people in one household. Like, it just makes sense to me. And I've been using it for about a year, and I love it. I do want to say that we are putting up some more channelings. If you want to connect with Spirit and maybe get more intimate, that's going to be next Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Learn It Live. And I'm also going to take some time to put up some like $10 classes where we can get into educating and learning about certain techniques and hoping that you can build up your intuitive abilities so when the fog lifts from the Corona vacation, you will have a new skill set to put out into your life. I love you guys. Thank you for being there, and thank you for making my day brighter. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and remember, it's not woo-woo. It's all true. You guys are the best. Bye.